Hello, YouTubers. I'm Tom in the beautiful city of Chicago, and in part 6 here, we're going to put in the carburetors, see how much we can get done. The motor's in, it's bolted down, it's lined. Now we got to get everything hooked up, and that could be a lot of work. So let's go ahead and get started on Big Blue here and get her running again. We're going to get these carbs in, bolted on, just a couple bolts right here. So let's get it done. And there we have the finished product. You can see everything's put together. I got everything wire tied down, nice and clean. I'll get the air box in here, okay? And then this side will be complete. I'm not going to really show you the air box. It's just a basic thing. But I did discover a problem with the oil injector. This thing is not returning all the way. It's like the spring is, see, there's a lot of slop in this. And it should be returning, and it doesn't want to unless I pull it. And it's the spring. See, now it's tight. But when I do that a couple times, then all of a sudden, there's too much slop in it. So I think I have to get a new spring. I'll have to check it out. It's not going to damage it. It just means it's going to eat more oil when I'm idling. But we'll check that out. And that's about it. So mission complete.
This is a shot of the oil injection pump. It's on the front of the engine. It has on the top, it has a bunch of hoses that go to the carburetors that inject the oil into the carburetors, which then goes into the engine. This is when the throttle position is at idle. That arrow is indicating that those two lines should line up. There is another mark on that dial there, and it is when the throttle is at wide open. It should be there. And what I had to do to resolve that issue with uh, the valve or lever, I don't know what you called it, this thing. It wasn't returning all the way. You could see part of the spring there. I had to replace the whole pump. I just couldn't find the problem. It was internal to the pump. So I went up on eBay and bought a new pump. Then I went out and adjusted all the cables and got it to line up correctly. So that's the only oil injection pump. It's a little bit of a problem. It had been malfunctioning all along, but like I said before, it was just burning more oil. So let's move on, and I'll show you the adjustments for that in the next clip. If you see the yellow arrow there, that's cable adjuster. You see the cable come out, and there's a nut on either side of that plate. We just move that cable in and out to adjust it and to get the tension correctly. The purple one is for the throttle. That's a little loose. I don't mind it. It's not going to do any harm if it's loose like that. And then I have the blue one to the left of it. This is the idle adjustment that goes directly to the carburetors and turns the butterfly valves. And then the red one there, it's an interesting thing. That's the bleeder port for the oil injection pump. I bled it and got some oil to come out of it. It gets all the air out of the oil injection system, so it's primed and ready to go. So we've got everything hooked up. Let's move on to the exhaust. This is the exhaust side, and in a second, I'm going to have the exhaust manifold on. This is the exhaust pipe bolted to the cylinders. Just torqued them down with some Loctite, and we're ready to go. So we're going to go ahead and do the heads and the big pipe. Here's the exhaust pipe. It's going to be tough to get it in there, but we'll do it. And there it is, all installed, ready to go.
Right, the gasket goes on for the head first. We get the head, we just put it on like so. It's just going to be a matter of bolting this thing down. And then there are 3 torques that I have to follow. And there's a torque sequence. You can see me using the torque wrench. And click, click. And we should have this done in a minute or two. But this is a pretty straightforward process. I didn't think I needed to elaborate on this. Just make sure you get those bolts torqued down in the right sequence. Here we're going to put on the exhaust pipe that goes to the water box. It's just a matter of bolting on this stuff, hooking up some hoses. You can see that pipe goes down and it go on the other end it connects to the water box. It's a little tricky. You got to maneuver things around, but it's just a bunch of hoses and clamps that need to be hooked up. No big deal. We'll get this all hooked up and we'll be pretty much done. But the hoses, you got to make sure they're clamped down secure and they're in the right position. A lot of water is fed into the exhaust to create back pressure for the jet ski. Otherwise, fuel starts to burn in the exhaust and things like that. That back pressure is extremely important. But we'll get this all hooked up and then we'll give it a once over and maybe start it up. We'll see.
Here we have it. All right, we got spark plugs. The exhaust is all hooked up. It goes down there, goes back in here. This is all hooked up back here. Battery hooked up. Spark plugs, everything checks. So we're going to go ahead and start this bad boy, see what happens. I hope it starts, but we'll see. Here we go. Fuel's on. Now let's give it a crank. Takes a little bit for the fuel to get through. We should have, there's our fuel filter. We got fuel in there. I do see fuel going through. There we go. There we go. Shut up. It's going. We got fuel coming in. Come on, baby. Ooh, she wanted to go. Let's give it a rest here. Yeah!
It's running. It sounds a little goofy. The microphone's on my left shoulder, so you're not going to hear it correctly. But it sounds good. It sounds like it should for a 2-stroke. So we're good to go. Now we got to get some water hooked up and see how this baby runs. Make sure there's no leaks.
what we're going to do here is check the cooling system. We want to make sure there's no leaks. Otherwise, you'll be out in the lake. And if you got a leak, you're going to get swamped. So the Yamaha gives you this little adapter. And there. We got water hooked up to it. Now let's check to see if we got any leaks.
I just kept checking to make sure the water didn't leak out for 5-6 minutes. Everything looked good, so we're good to go.
Hey YouTubers, it's me Tom. I'm out at the launch. It's 50 degrees. We're gonna fire up Big Blue here, get her ready to go. Runs good. Lots of smoke. Let's get her in the water and do a little ride. Here we go.
Blue is running good. Everything went well on the ride. Stayed out there about an hour and a half or so. I didn't hit full throttle that often, but I took it up a little bit, mainly a half and 3/4, kind of get those cylinders broken in. But she ran good. I had some fun, and she's ready for the season now. This ends this video, and hope to see you on the future videos. I'll try to make them shorter and maybe just on specific items, so it could be a short. But Big Blue is running again and running good. Thanks much for watching.